So today we're going to be talking about how to find a job in Canada, and I'm making this video because the first video I did about how to jackbar, it really did well, and I think it helped a bunch of people. And so I'm like, yeah, how else can I help my Lagos people if not by teaching the people that have finally moved how to get a job? So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that your resume, you need to revamp it. And I know everybody says this, revamp your resume, match it to the job ad, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. And this is going to sound bad, but you want to remove every barrier, right? So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that if you have an English name, or you have a name that you can just shorten or just make it easy to pronounce, put that on your resume. My resume currently reads Hamda Koya. And if you see Hamda, people might think you're East African, people might think you're, they wouldn't automatically think that, oh, this babe's a Nigerian babe, right? So the first thing is just do that to your resume and make your name less of a barrier. And again, I know this sounds bad because you're supposed to be propagating that people should learn to pronounce your name or whatever, but you're an immigrant in a new country, and we're Nigerians. Our best thing is to know how to hustle. Prioritize your hustle, deal with the rest of the bullshit later. So back to the resume building, you also need to take out, or you should also take out, anything that infers that you have worked in Lagos. And now this is what I'm saying, because this is what I did. The jobs that I had in Lagos, my last two jobs at Eating Life and Pastel Africa, they were incorporated in the US. And even though our main office was in even though our main office was in Lagos, we had people working around. So it was in my best interest to change it to say Eating Life US instead of saying Eating Life Lagos State. And then during the interview, you said that yes, I manage the Lagos State communication side of things, community building, social media. That was it, but I worked for a global company. Now, in the event that you do not work or you have not worked for a company that was incorporated in the UK, the US, or Canada, what you should do is remove that Lagos, Nigeria from your resume. I promise you it doesn't matter, because if you take it out and somebody is just reading XXX company, the other thing they can write on is what you did in that role. And so nobody's going to say, oh, this person is in Nigeria and they work in Nigeria, they probably don't have enough skills as we do here, which is a lie. So yeah, you do that. Take out those locations, just put the company, or put US, UK, wherever a company was incorporated. Step 3 of building your resume, which I feel like every person that has done a lot of job hunting should know. You cannot use one flat resume for everything. I know that it is hard. It's hard to always have to change your resume every time you have to apply for a job. But each resume has to be tailored to the job you're applying to. So for instance, I have a resume for content creation. I have a resume for community management. I have a resume for communications coordination. I have a resume for video editing. And it's just like, whatever role I am applying to, I can then go take that resume and tweak it a bit, use some wordings, check if there are tools that they are requiring that I know how to use in that resume, in that role description, and then I can add it to my resume so that your chances are just higher. Now let's go to step 2, prepping for an interview. I have realized, based on conversations that I had with people, that people don't prep for their interviews well. It's not a result of them not having adequate experience in the role they are applying for. It's just that they just don't prep for the interview because they assume they know, which is true. They do know what they're applying for, but an interview is essentially a sales pitch. You have to sell yourself, sell your market. So this is how I prep for my interviews, and I would advise that you prep like that too, or find out better ways to prep from HR geniuses on the internet. YouTube is your friend. So first thing I do is I have a Google Doc. I'll probably put it somewhere here for you guys if I can find it. I have a Google Doc and I copy the job description there. And so I read through it, I understand it, and I go and prep for interview questions. Now, I don't just copy those interview questions. I put my responses to those questions under it in that same document. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Sorry. Excuse my brain. So, for example, first question is usually, can you tell us a bit about yourself? I will put my answer. Let's say I'm applying for a video editor role. I'll say, hi, my name is Hamda. and I have worked in the communications and marketing space for 4 years. In all of these roles, I have taken up the responsibility of editing videos for social media. I enjoy video editing because it helps me channel the part of me which is a storyteller. I believe video, yada yada yada. And then basically what I'm saying is all my answers for that tell me about yourself, it is related to the role. I'm not telling them that I'm a content creator, even though essentially content creation tailors back to video editing, but I'm not telling them that I love fashion. It's not their business, except they ask me at the end of the interview, what do I like to do in my spare time. You also have to research the company and figure out, sometimes they ask you stuff about their values, or they ask you, why do you want to apply to this role? Why do you want to work for us? You have to give them answers that are related to what the company is all about. And then all the other questions, tell us about a time that you have experienced a crisis, or tell us about a time that there was a problem and you had to figure out a solution. You always have to have real life answers for that question. You cannot just come up with something random off the top of your head. You can't. Just make sure that it sounds real. And so for something like that, I'll probably say there was a time when I was working at Eden Life that I had to manage crisis. We had a sales period, but we did not we didn't plan properly. So we approximated that we're going to have 500 orders, and then we had 2K orders. And then your job is to tell them how you dealt with that situation. How did you resolve that conflict? How did you manage it that it did not affect your customers, right? Because in the end, business is all about how things affect their customers and their brand image and how you're making their money. And so my point is, have that document, answer all the questions, and read through it. The aim of the document is not so that you can open it during the interview, even though I'm going to go back so that you can. It's so that you are very well equipped with the answers, and it just comes to you naturally when you're talking. And then practice with a friend. I do this all the time. I call my best friend Riley. I'm like, Riley, please, sorry, can you ask me this question? I'm trying to prepare for an interview. And it helps. Now, during the actual interview, we're in 2024, right? A bunch of interviews. Why is my bra falling, for the love of God? A bunch of interviews. I'm so sorry for that. A bunch of interviews are remote, virtual. So just open it on one corner of your tab. And if a question comes to you and for some reason you forget the answer, you can just skim through and then it comes back to you. You can answer that way. Now, that's on resume building, right? Building. The place you should apply for jobs, to me, just use Indeed. I've personally given up on LinkedIn. For some reason, all the jobs I apply for on LinkedIn, I never get a response. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe the problem is there are too many people on LinkedIn. So it's a matter of the kiniko is high. What's the word? The competition on LinkedIn is high. So I just go to Indeed. And the thing with Indeed is you can tailor your, I feel like I've used the word tailor so much in this video. I don't know why. You can tailor your profile to the job roles you are looking for. Also, there is Glassdoor, and then they send you notifications, and you just keep applying. Which brings me to number 3. Apply to the jobs that you are equipped for, that you can do. Don't just apply to any job because a job, for instance, is going to give you a lot of money, or they say the pay is great. Apply to jobs that you have experience in, so that when you're in that interview, you're not just talking shit. You're talking from a place of experience, or a place of, I have done this before. I know sometimes it's hard and you want to just apply for whatever roles because you just landed, you're trying to find that first job. But I just want you to trust yourself and trust your skills and trust the amount of experience and amount of years you've put into learning this skill, this craft in this role. And then just look for those roles and apply to them, because your chances get higher if you're applying to 50, for instance, if I'm applying to 50 marketing roles, my chances of getting a job is higher, as opposed to if I'm applying to 50 jobs and 10 of them are marketing roles, 10 of them are customer support, which I don't have a lot of experience in, 10 of them are in whatever else. You just have to apply to those jobs that you are experienced in. And I learned this from some babe called Mujida Sakibo. She's also here in Canada. She helps people get jobs. Obviously, you have to pay a fee. This is not an ad. I just remember that. And if you have that money. I think she charges about, is it $500 or $700? I'm not sure. But whatever it is she charges, you can find her on LinkedIn. Her name is Mujida Sakibu. If you're interested in somebody just holding your hand and helping you through that process, that's great. If you can afford it, go find her. Another thing a lot of people do not like to do is writing cover letters. And it's sad, somewhat sad, because I know like there's a part of your brain that is just like, my resume should be enough, all my skills are there, all my work experience is there, my certifications are there. But your cover letter is going to be what sets you apart, and also going to sort of make them gauge if you're a culture fit for the company. And so it is another avenue for you to sell yourself. Tell them why they should work with you. Tell them your work ethic. Tell them what you love about their brand, which is another thing that I'm going to tell you, is try to apply to brands that you actually love and brands you want to work for, because it will just flow easier. The conversations will flow easier because you cannot hide the excitement you have for wanting to work with them. Make sure everything aligns. So apply to jobs, roles that you're experiencing. Apply to companies that when you read about them, check out their website, you're like, okay, shit, these people, I feel like if I work with these people, I would actually enjoy my job. And I know that it can be easier said than done, but you have to put in the work. Applying for a job is an actual job. When I was applying, I used to wake up every day by 8 a.m. and apply for multiple jobs back to back to back. And the better you interview, you're not going to get all the interviews right, you're not going to get all the jobs, but the more you interview, the more you put yourself out there, the easier the interview process is going to be for you, and the better you are going to get in applying for these jobs. Which now brings me to another thing: join communities. Currently, I'm trying to join a community called IABC, which is for communications, and then there's a community in Edmonton for communicators. I'm trying to join them. The reason why it would be good to join a community is because then you start to learn about how your job works in Canada, and the verbiage, the language, what it takes. You meet people, and those people can also plug you to jobs. When you go out, open your mouth, so don't go there and be forming, because I know Nigerians will be forming. So yeah, tell people that you're looking for a job. It's important. It's a great avenue to network. Go outside. Don't be stuck in your house. I'm not saying go outside and flex. I'm saying go outside with intentionality. Join communities, join groups, go for hangouts. But your aim there should be to network and to tell people that, oh, I work in this and I'm currently job hunting. If you have anything, plug me to it. Now in Canada, there is something called Bredin, and it is like it's like an employment support agency. So when I first came, I went to Bredin, and what they did was they looked through my resume and they helped me. They told me how I could be better. Unfortunately, based on my resume that I sent, because I had a lot of experience in architecture and they saw that I had a master's degree in architecture, they plugged me to a specialist in construction and architecture and building. But then we had a conversation, and she told me what I would have to do if I wanted to become a registered architect, the boards to join or agencies available. And then what they do is they help you do interview preps, they do resume building sessions, and if there are any roles that they find within their system that aligns to you, they plug you to it. So that might also, I didn't get a job from Bredin, but I feel like it's a resource that can help anybody, right? So if you're in Edmonton, I think they're also in Red Deer. You should check Bredin out. Just go there. It also just helps your mental health, because when I went there, the babe was like, because I was at a point where I was considering taking whatever job. I was going to take a customer rep job, even though, like, I can have conversations, I don't mind, but a part of me was going to be sad if I did a customer rep job, because I'm like, this is not aligned with my career progression. But my point is, when I spoke to that babe at Bredin, she was like, see, your resume is fire. You have enough experience. Don't get into that headspace of, I just want to take any job, because it's just going to make you more depressed. And so it was also just a, I don't know, validation of my experience, because sometimes you move and then you're like, am I sure my Nigerian experience is going to matter? It matters, my dear. The same work you're doing in Nigeria, you can move it here and take those skills here. The only difference is you're in a different environment, so you have to learn about their culture and their cultural nuances and whatever else involved. But yes, don't let that bring you down. I know sometimes people are like, oh, just take any care job, take whatever job. And it is different because, to be honest, you also have to be realistic with yourself, right? Me, for instance, I moved in with my sister. I wasn't even paying rent. I didn't have any responsibilities. I don't have a child. I don't have a husband. So I can afford to say, I'm going to wait for X amount of months until I get the job I want. If you feel like you can't afford to do that, then it's fine. Take whatever job you want, but then still take your time to apply for the roles that you actually want and will actually help your career progression. Last thing I wanted to say was you should try to take a course. And I know sometimes courses are expensive, but there are some courses, there are a bunch of courses actually where they do scholarships and free courses for new immigrants. So just check them out depending on your role. Check it out. If you're in marketing communications, check out GrowClass. Almost everybody that I know here has done GrowClass. I even know one babe that did it when she was in Lagos before she came. And what GrowClass does is, aside from the fact that you're acquiring new skills, right, you're also networking with people that are top, because the instructors are top people within the field of marketing. So yeah, it's also an avenue to just network, meet people, and then they connect you to gigs according to what I have heard. All right, good luck in all your job applications. I hope you all find jobs, because I need everybody to live their baby girl and baby boy lifestyles. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say that I do not remember. My memory is shit. But I think this was a tight video. If you have any additional questions, be sure to ask me in the comments below. And if you feel like you want me to keep doing this Canada related new immigrants type content, let me know, because I also want to do a video that says all the things you have to do immediately you land in Canada. So I'm going to be talking about your social security number, getting a bank account, and the things you have to look out for when you are getting your bank account, and just stuff like that. And then also light-hearted stuff like the places you need to visit when you come to Canada, or when you're in Edmonton, where I am, or when you're in Calgary, where I go all the time. Yeah, because in the end, you also need to go out for your mental health. Canada is like, if you stay indoors, it's the way dating is. Like, if you stay indoors, your husband is not going to fall in your lap in your house, right? So you have to go out, you have to meet people, you have to network, so that you can start to feel more like this is your home. If not, you're just going to feel that, yeah, like you're just going to miss home a lot, and it starts to tell you your mental health, right? So yeah, let me know if you want me to do videos like that. It was a lovely video, quite fast, quite short. 17 minutes is not short, but I hope you made it to the end. Thank you, goodbye. And if you're new here, be sure to like, share, subscribe. My name is Hamda, and I primarily try to create travel exploration type videos, but occasionally I do videos like this. All right, so bye.